So here we go with Asia Atwood from Trella.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Very, very good. Thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity. I do appreciate it.
Oh, we're thrilled to have you here. Thrilled to hear more about your business. I'm going to do the screen share and you're going to remember to say next. Okay, Asia?
Sure thing.
Okay, hold on. And we'll get this ready.
All right.
And there's that wonderful group. Okay, so I'm going to say, Alexa, set the timer for 99 seconds.
1 minute and 39 seconds, starting now.
Go.
Hello. My name is Asia, a seasoned engineer, entrepreneur, and CEO of Trella Technologies. Next slide, please. It may not be a surprise to you, but the indoor farming industry has a space and energy consumption problem, especially those using vertical and stacked arrangements, like those found in urban warehouses or container farms. They're limited by height, so you have to grow those short plants or train and tie them down by hand, which requires skill, time, and access. So, we created an energy efficient and globally scalable solution. Trello Grow, next slide. LST is an automated horizontal plant training system that automatically trains a tall plant to grow sideways. Next slide, please. That's right, it gently trains tall plants to grow sideways, which creates faster growth with less energy. Next slide, please. With machine learning, growers can automatically sync their lights to go on as the plant develops, and it tracks plant growth to determine the best environmental conditions for the fastest growth. Next slide, please. This results in higher yield and increased revenue, along with other benefits. Next slide. Through beta testing, we are learning that our technology revolutionizes indoor farming by reducing energy costs and our carbon footprint, all while diversifying the types of plants we can grow indoors. Next slide, please. Join us. We are on a mission to protect and feed a hungry world with our low-energy automated plant training system. First, for growers, become an elite R&D partner to help with our testing and data collection efforts. And for everyone, please view our public offering to see it in action or to become an investor. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Alexa, stop. Wow. That was amazing. And everybody, I just scanned the QR code. So I got to tell you, go ahead and scan it. It'll take you right to the website, everything that you need to know about Asia and her wonderful, wonderful business. I'm going to stop screen share. I can always, pull something back up, but I want people to be able to ask questions. Okay, audience, this is up to you now. Time to ask questions. I'm going to look through. Asia, Michael said, great presentation and a great idea. And Fabiola said, that was amazing. Of course, everybody's thrilled that it was perfect timing. Here's a question from Michael. IP position.
Yeah, for sure. So we are patent pending. We were patent pending back in 2017 with our provisional patents. Then we filed our utility patents in 2018. And we have patents pending in both the US and in foreign countries as well. We decided to partner up with a Boston firm called Hamilton Brooks Smith Reynolds. My co-founder is in the medical device background, and he had a really great relationship with them. So we were able to utilize his relationship, his network, and they were willing to partner with us to help us out, and they've been awesome.
3 minutes.
So that's how we've been able to maintain and protect our. Thank you.
And then, hold on, Michael. Do you have any interesting partnerships ongoing already?
Yes, we're actually working with a couple of different, one commercial cultivator and another educational institution. I can't be specific on that right now due to confidentiality, but what we're trying to do with those partnerships is to find individuals who either want to use our system to be more efficient in their current grow. So those are more like the commercial growers that have been growing for, a couple of years. We have a lot of interest in Canada and out west because of that. And when it comes to research, some educational institutions are looking at it as well because there's a lot of research and development going on in the institutional sectors, educational institutional sectors, when it comes to hemp and CBD. And those are particular types of plants that need to be grown indoors, need to be secure, and you don't really want to have those anywhere. So we need tight spaces for that. Our system is great for that type of setup.
Great. And then Frederick says, are the nutrients managed by the system?
No, so what we decided to do is we wanted to automate plant training specifically. If you go out into the market, you'll find lots of other solutions for automated light control, automated nutrient dosing, automated HVAC, climate control, etc. But there isn't anything out there that will control automatically how the plant grows, the shape of the plant, the how it fills out that container. And as we move more towards container farming systems, vertical farming systems, we're going to really need to automate plant movement, plant shape, and we really want to allow growers who they know what they like. Like once a grower figures out how to grow, the nutrients, the grow media they like, the lights they like, they don't want to change it. So we wanted to design this so that it was just a plug into their existing system and that it doesn't require a lot of changes to their existing
Right.
criteria.
And then Vanessa says, great job, Asia. Are you connected with Greentown Labs?
No, not yet. Hope to be. If you're out there, hit us up.
All right. And then No Fault wants to know, where do you have these farms active now?
So right now we're working on building units to put into the hands of our elite R&D partners. So we're right now in Cape Cod and local. We've been doing all of our growing locally in our own lab, and we're looking to do that growing in someone else's location so we can do some great A and B testing.
And are they organic?
They can be. Again, it's just training the size of the plant. So it doesn't have anything to do with how organics, nutrients, growing media. If you decide that you want to utilize an organic grow, you can definitely use our system with that.
Great. And then Will wants to know, what is your revenue model?
So what we plan to do after we gather this group of elite R&D partners and we really refine our tech, we want to first move it into using it in their grow. So a lot of our elite R&D partners have larger setups, so we first want to use them as our first partners. We'll sell our units to them. We like to sell them in batches of numbers greater than 6.
Okay, Alexa, stop.
As well.
So, we have more questions in here. So, you're going to go to Facebook, you're going to go to YouTube to follow up with everybody. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to bring in our 2 experts. Whoops, I got to get rid of this one question here. Sorry about that. Let me find, boom. Okay. All right. And then we're going to bring in Gail and we're going to bring in, there she is, Jen. And I'm going to have the banner going across, which I should have done before. So sorry about that. Everybody watching, this is how you can reach Asia, and go to the website as well. Okay. Alexa, set the timer for 4 minutes.
Questions?
Alexa, set the timer for 4 minutes.
So Asia, congrats. It was a lot of fun to hear more. And I have a couple of questions. The audience did a great job, and I was crossing my questions off as they were asking them. So my curiosity is who are your current competitors and how are you different?
Sure. So currently what people are doing is they're manually training their plants by hand. So our competitors are actually, staff and people going in there by hand, having to train the plant. And one of the things that they're dealing with is when it gets to the vertical stacked arrangements is how do you get to each individual level? So most people are trying to grow short plants. They're not going to those taller plants. So if you look at a lot of the freight farms and a lot of the container farming solutions out there, they're really stuck with just herbs, lettuces, short things, short plant varieties. We're trying to diversify the types of plants that can be grown and get those taller varieties indoors with an automated solution. So as of right now, it's manual only. It's the only way to do it. Okay.
And I think a follow-up to that would be, I often think about how can you make something frictionless, especially if it comes to behavior change. Like the staff has been doing it manually. So I know you've just onboarded some R&D elite partners to get going. My curiosity is, have you been able to sort of look at what is the amount of onboarding time needed to get us to get staff ready and understanding how Trella Grow works, if that makes sense?
Yeah, and that's the type of information that we hope to learn with our elite R&D partners. And what we've been doing in the past is really focusing more on the residential home grower. And one of the pivots that we made in 2019 was to try to figure out how can we capture that commercial market. So we went back and we talked to some commercial growers and they gave us some feedback on the usability, some things they didn't like, some tweaks they wanted us to make. We took 2019 to make those tweaks, and now we want to build them and put them in the hands of those individuals to say, do you like it? Do you really feel like this is easy to do, easy to learn, doesn't take a lot of training? So that's our goal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gail.
So I think this is building on that same theme, which is really, what are the barriers to adoption? Do you imagine, like, if I've got an existing indoor facility, how hard is it to retrofit? Is it a high capital cost? How do you feel like, or is this mostly for people who are designing new?
No, we can work with designing new, of course, but for people who want to transition into it, typically what happens is you start with smaller batches. So we would do one grow room, one small area where they would only have a few of our units, just so they can get used to the system, do the training, get them used to it. We also want to partner with them. We don't want to just throw our units into their hands and go good luck. We want to be there. We want to, have field technicians that are there that are saying, we can tweak it right now, we can fix it for you. That's one of when we first started the company, one of the things that we really wanted to do is you don't just want to ship them out through Amazon. We want to partner with people and help them to succeed. So that is something that we're going to learn more about. But if you wanted to then transition into a larger grow facility, 1,000 square foot grow facility, that would be a huge capital expenditure. So that's why it would probably be something that they would step into in smaller stages before they just went out and said we want it for all 1,000 square feet of our grow.
Got it. The other thing I always like to think about is first use cases and target markets. Is this really for cannabis?
Yes. Well, well, it's
Why
not just.
Why did you resist saying that in the pitch?
Well, it wasn't a resistance. To me, fruit-bearing plants, all plants are plants. I don't really categorize cannabis as a different plant. Cannabis can be hemp. It's an industrial plant, so it's suited for that as well. And we really want to get fruit-bearing plants in there too. So that's what
Alexa off.
It is an explosive market. Don't be afraid to connect to it.
Thank you very much.
Nice advice there, Gail and Jen. Thank you. Okay, everybody, I want to hear you out there. Yay!
Thank you.
Woo!